if he knows where he is going. When I ask him where he lives, he points downtown and east. "Oh, that way," I tease him. "Yes, precisely," he replies. He takes the step below mine outside my building, asks, "Is your mother really dead?" "I'm wearing her shoes," I say, and we both look down at my feet. "Doesn't prove anything." "I may be a thief, but I'm not a liar." "We'll see." "Will we?" I ask, when I want to ask why he hasn't kissed me. When he does, with one hand on my waist, which he uses to push me gently toward the building when he's done. On the train, he put his number in my phone but won't take mine. "You'll call," he assures me, shooing me up the steps. He doesn't move from his step until I am through both sets of locked doors and safely in the lobby. Our building used to be grand 60 years ago. Now the floor dips right before the elevator, worn down by years of impatient waiting. The mosaic around the mailboxes needs cleaning and repair. The crests of its ocean waves, though we live nowhere near the ocean, swell no more. Tiles fall off every month. The super slips them into his pocket with a headshake. When I was a child, I'd work them like loose teeth. "Stop that," my father would say while flipping through the mail, and I would put my hands at my sides, my fingers itching to finish the work. Back then, Joseph was our super. He'd cup my chin every time I brought him a tile, as though I were bringing him gold coins. When Joseph moved upstate to live near his grandkids, we got a new super. He's good at fixing plumbing, but he doesn't talk much. He doesn't smile at the kids, though I guess I am not a kid anymore. A few upscale restaurants have moved in. More strollers, nicer ones, take up the sidewalks, the steps to the subway station, but our building seems to be falling down despite this, despite all the people who show up in our neighborhood with their money and their dreams and their ripe uteruses. Somewhere in the building's basement, there is a collection of tiles big enough to construct a new ocean. The elevator smells of my neighbor's sins: takeout, trash, too much perfume. In my 15 years, I've ridden with them all. The pot dealer in 8C, Mr. Rivera, his crumpled receipts falling from his jacket pockets, dirty boots and hangovers, and my parents, who gathered themselves in a steely silence after a fight, before they entered the world pretending to be happier than they were. Tonight, I am grateful to ride alone, to not have anyone know I am coming home this late. Off the elevator, I slide out of the shoes, rest for a moment barefoot on the cool floors of the hallway. It's not the heel that bothers me, but the toes. They pinch. I only remember my mother wearing the shoes twice, to a cousin's bar mitzvah and to a dinner with my grandparents. Both times she ended the evening in stockinged feet. The shoes are at least 20 years old, but it's as though no one has worn them, and I count on this when I return them to my parents' closet in the morning, while my father is buying the paper. I'm not sure Dad even knows they're there anymore, that he can remember what we've kept of hers and what we've thrown out. The only evidence is the slight ache I have in my arches the next day, a secret he's not interested in discovering. I was 12 when my mother died. It took 3 years. Before she left, we let her have as much anger and fear as she wanted, even as it suffocated the rest of us. My older sister Michelle asked once to go to boarding school. "You only have a little more than a year to go," Dad reminded her. "I just want out of here," she whimpered across the kitchen table, and my mother gave a little moan from the other room as if to say she was on her side. Then Mish leaned over her baked ziti and cried. I remember thinking how selfish she was. I thought she was crying because Dad had said no. He returned to his dinner, wiping his mustache between bites. 7 months after my mother's death, Mish left for college. Last spring break, her sophomore year, while everyone else her age was getting tan and wasted on beaches in the southern United States, Mish came home. It felt foolish to even utter the word spring in New York. Moisture still dripped, cold from the heating pipe in the bathroom, from our noses. It had been a miserable winter. The snow fell regularly but wouldn't stick. The sidewalks were slicked with a sheet of ice so thin we walked with our feet clenched for months. I'd imagined Mish coming home with interesting friends and stories.